A former Mississippi Republican representative by the name of Robert Foster got himself in a bit of trouble this week on social media when he sent out a message on Twitter calling for transgender rights activists, who he actually just calls groomers, to be executed by firing squad. Now, here is his exact quote. "Those who want to groom our children and pretend men are women should be lined up against a wall before a firing squad and sent to an early judgment." So, he's talking about groomers, right? But what exactly does that mean in the world of Republican politics these days? Because they're throwing around that term left and right, and honestly, I don't think any of them actually know what it even means. Because they're using it to describe anyone at this point who opposes the oppressive anti-LGBTQ legislation that we are seeing coming out of red states. So no, it's not that big of a leap to think that he is, of course, referring to anyone who opposes this legislation and wants transgender individuals to have equal rights to the rest of us. He may not have to come out and say it, but we can pretty much, extrapolate from this statement that he made. Because we know they're not actually concerned about groomers. We already have laws about that, by the way. We don't need these extra things to attack specifically the transgender community in order to go after groomers, because we already have the legal tools with which to do that. And they know that. But they're trying to use that as an effective cop-out, saying, oh, if you oppose us, clearly you want to have sex with kids. That's the line. Right? That is the point they are trying to make. And now this creep from Mississippi thinks we ought to line them up in front of a firing squad and execute them. He had his Twitter account suspended very briefly for making this remark. And then, of course, Twitter put it back because, you learned your lesson, right? Never going to do it again, except then he did it again. In a conversation with the Mississippi Free Press, he said, quote, "The law should be changed so that anyone trying to sexually groom children and or advocating to put men pretending to be women in locker rooms and bathrooms with young women should receive the death penalty by firing squad." So there he makes it a little more clear. Okay, it's not just the groomers. It's anyone, who thinks that a man should be in a woman's locker room, which, again, is not a thing that people are trying to do. So he's out there putting words in other people's mouths. But that second quote that he told to the Mississippi Free Press, that tells the story even better. That shows that no, he's not just talking about groomers at all. He wants people to be killed. And this is what this kind of legislation spurs. When you have a party that's out there spreading hate and division, this is the logical next step for them. It moves into violence. First, you have the hateful rhetoric, then you have the violent rhetoric. Don't believe me? Look at Donald Trump's attacks on the medias, followed by his supporters' attempted actual attacks on the media. And so many other things. That's just one example off the top of my head. This is what it does. When you target a specific group with your hate, it doesn't take long for the violence to follow. And that apparently is exactly what these Republicans want to see. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for fresh content every single day of the week. Just smash that subscribe button, and of course, don't forget to like, comment, and share the video.